Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Chiron in Aries in the natal horoscope. Well, as most of you know, Chiron is associated with, it's known as kind of the, I guess you could say, the wounded healer. It's really what this signifies in our horoscope. It's something where we are able to emphasize and accentuate strongly in terms of helping others, but we may lack the capability of doing this for ourselves. And anyway, Chiron in Aries people, just to let you know, most of you know that Chiron stays in a sign on an average between about the average period or duration is 4 or 5 years. It might be longer for some periods than others, but on average it's about 4 to 5 years for a sign. So this is everything but like maybe a generational planet, not a planet, but it has similar effect. So we have to look at it. The houses are more important, but I'm still going to talk to you about the Chiron in Aries. Now, Chiron in Aries is, it could be a person that may lack some self-esteem, self-confidence issues. There might be a reluctance to take a leadership role or position. These people often have a great ability to indoctrinate maybe confidence, leadership skills in others, bravery, courage, and fortitude. But the person that has this may often lack this in themselves to some degree. Aries does rule the head. There might be some propensity for perhaps some kind of facial injury or headaches. Oddly enough, I seem to get headaches a little more often than the average person, but then I read in some astrology book that was Taurus, and I have Taurus rising, so I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I would think it seems like maybe that has something to do with my placement having Chiron in Aries. But anyway, the thing about this is that there might be a strong skepticism for these people to kind of go to the head of the pack and sometimes to assert themselves or speak up and to some level show this valor or courage. Now, this does, the house is very significant where this is, because like I stated before, the average duration for Chiron by sign is like 4 to 5 years. So this is everything but in terms of its effect by sign. It's generational, and it's going to have more of an impact in your house. Now, I have it in my 12th house, so this could indicate that maybe I have the ability, maybe strongly for people to kind of assert themselves and work on their weaknesses and limitations, which is indicated by the 12th house. Now, our 12th house could be introspection as well. I can encourage people maybe to delve into themselves and look at themselves, give themselves self-analysis, and see where their positive attributes are and their negative ones. But at the same time, I might not have this ability to perhaps look at my own flaws and shortcomings, or face myself to some degree. Top it off, I have Saturn in the 12th house as well, and Saturn, as we know, is connected with restriction and limitation. I think the difference, Chiron and Saturn are similar, I think, in their effects, but the difference is, at least with Chiron, you have that ability to maybe help others in the ways you might be deficient in yourself. So anyway, I mean, say, I'll give you another example. Say someone has Chiron in the 4th house of home and family, Chiron in Aries in the 4th house of home and family. This could indicate maybe a person that has difficulty or reluctance sometimes speaking up over family matters, or just things that are concerning the home and family. If they think something's not fair, they might maybe suppress this to some degree, and that urge to speak out and say, this is what needs to be done. And this person may have some certain reluctance in terms of maybe getting into a possible dispute, and would rather have things tranquil and peaceful and on an even keel, rather than maybe speak up and fear that it might create an argument or something. So anyway, so that's basically it for Chiron and And the thing is, if somebody has this in Aries, what they need to do is to learn to indoctrinate maybe leadership capabilities in themselves more. Now, don't get me wrong, if somebody has, say, the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aries, or have a plethora of fire signs in their chart, obviously that will greatly modify this description, because as I stated, this is really, I mean, a planetoid, if you will, and it's also it stays in the sign for 4 to 5 years on average. So by sign placement, it's really not that significant. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Chiron in Aries in a natal horoscope. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about Chiron in Taurus in a natal chart. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.